on, everybody? Welcome to Monday and welcome to today's class. Today, we're going to talk about creating and posting your first video in under 30 minutes. And I can't wait to get started. Now, we're streaming in a number of different places this week. No puppy to interrupt us this time. She's passed out on the floor, but super excited to roll in with you guys. So, have you ever been on the fence about, or maybe you are on the fence about posting video, but maybe you feel intimidated or overwhelmed with the process? Maybe you've done a few videos of yourself or of a house, but you just haven't been able to commit to making it a part of your routine in your business. If you've been there, let me know. Put a 1 in the comments. With 85% of buyers and sellers wanting to work with agents who make videos part of their business, it's no wonder that so many agents have an interest in video, but it can be overwhelming and it can be intimidating. And so, what we're going to do here is really just set you on the path to becoming your own Hollywood star. Happy Monday, everyone. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, today's class is super exciting, and I've got some even more exciting news that we're going to drop at the end of the class. So make sure you tune in all the way to the end. I've got comments everywhere coming in. So Facebook, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Trying to be on Instagram. It's not wanting to work right, but we're in those 3 places. If you aren't following us on YouTube yet, make sure you are. There are some videos that are getting posted over there that aren't in the Facebook group or aren't on Instagram or LinkedIn naturally. So make sure you're following me on YouTube as well, and make sure you go check it out. Anywho, so if you're new to the group or even new to the Monday classes that we do here, my name's Kristen Brumbaugh, and I am your in-house real estate coach marketing expert. I've been a licensed real estate agent since 2005, and for the last 7 years, I've been helping agents all over the country increase their business and create systems to scale. 3.5 years ago, 15 years ago is, a little more, 17 years ago now is when I got licensed. But 3.5 years ago, my husband and I started our own real estate brokerage here in South Carolina. And in that time, we have grown our brokerage to a little over 180 agents, and just super excited about everything that we're doing here within our state, and excited to bring all of the knowledge that those cumulative years of being an agent myself, being a marketer, and now being a brokerage owner as well. Excited to share all of that knowledge with you guys. Getting tongue-tied here. So, the reason why I do what I do is because it is my absolute pleasure and my passion to help agents grow their business, to help agents see their worth in their business, to find that success, to create and scale businesses that they love and that are balanced with their life and with what they want for themselves. Now, like I said, in today's class, we're going to talk about video. Before we fully dive in, I want to give you a few stats, and I'm going to read them. I've got my notes because I am not Superwoman. Couple of stats here. 1, videos attract 300% more traffic for nurturing leads. So if you are looking to bring more opportunities into your business, more leads into your business, then video is a great place to start, because guys, that's 300% more traffic for nurturing leads. So if you want to build up that pipeline, build up that database, video is a really great place to start. Couple of social media stats on it. Facebook's the most popular at 75%. Social channels, sorry, I messed up my tongue there. Facebook's the most popular at 75%. YouTube is the second most popular at 70%, and Instagram at 58%. Now, here's kind of where it all starts to fall in. I love that. Tongue-tied is okay. Love your vibe. Thank you. So most agents, they just don't take initiative when it comes to video marketing. And the benefit to that, if you decide to start doing videos for yourself, is that you can stand out pretty well whenever you're doing videos for yourself, because there's so many agents out there that are not doing videos in their marketing. When you do them, it helps just make you stick out even more. Does that make sense to everybody? If it makes sense, drop a make sense in the comments. Now, when you post your videos on social media, like your finished videos, so whether you do a live or you do um, a pre-recorded video, when you start posting them on your different social media platforms and sharing them to different platforms, that's really the hidden like gem to getting more real estate listings. A lot of statistics and a lot of information has been shown that people are more likely, and like I said earlier in the class here, people are more likely to work with agents who are using video in their marketing. So that's just not for yourself, but also for your listings. And when a potential seller sees that you're using video, it really is like the hidden secret to getting more real estate listings. So I've got 5 steps here to help us get started. And before I dive into those steps, guys, energy and comments are the thing that I thrive on. If you would just comment in the chat, let me know that you're ready to hear those 5 steps. Comment ready or 5 steps, whatever you want to do. But your energy that you bring today is exactly what I need to keep this ball rolling and to make things just explode for you. Or as my 4-year-old would say, she told me this weekend, it'll be blasted. We bought some flowers for my mom for Mother's Day, and she said, I hope she's blasted. And I felt like I was discovering a whole new generation of speak beyond Gen Z of things I won't understand. So, all right, couple of readies, love it. All right, I've got 2 listings just from doing reels. I love it. Like I'm not going to speak on that part again. Like, guys, if you're not doing video, you have to be doing it. It is really what is going to get you more business in this day and age. All right. So the 5 steps to developing your video marketing effort. Number 1, develop your KPI. And for those of you that don't know, KPIs are your key performance indicators. And that's basically how you measure your success. So, maybe that KPI is video views. So maybe you develop like, what do you want your benchmark to be? What do you want your measurable point to be? And so your goal, for example, might be to get 50 video views in the first 5 days or something like that. You have to see what works for you. You have to test. You have to really just play around with it. And so number 1, you want to make sure that you develop a KPI. So make sure you set a goal for what you want your videos to do. And I would start with video views because that's really your first point. You need to get views in order to get people engaging, in order to get people interacting with you before you can even consider getting appointments from it, right? So your first KPI would be video views. Number 2, write a list of pillar topics. So in marketing, a pillar is basically a central piece of content, and making other pieces of content throughout the week is really what you're going to be doing with your pillar content. So you're going to have your pillar content, it's going to be your central piece of content, and then you're going to create other pieces of content around that pillar content that kind of jive with it. Does that make sense? Like, for example, pillar content as an agent, you might be using the best time to sell a house, FSBO tips, getting a comparative market analysis, how to find a good real estate agent. And then you would create like graphics or other posts surrounding that video that you make that kind of like jive in with that same theme. So you can create a lot of different videos around the same topic. You can break it down into little tiny chunks. You can, spread it out into a series, but having your one pillar content and then in creating like a basic but informative video about it is a really great way to get you started. Number 3, designate an audience. So just like any other marketing asset you have, you need to have a relevant audience in order to be effective. With your first video, like who you're speaking to, whether it's, experienced sellers, first-time sellers, buyers, first-time buyers, experienced buyers, whoever you are deciding to speak to is going to be important when you think about how you want your video to come across or what you want to say in your video. So designating an audience of like, okay, who is this message for? Is going to be really important. Write it down, write down what they should be getting out of it. And then whenever you start writing out your framework for everything, and I'm getting a whole lot of notifications that I thought I had on Do Not Disturb. So we're going to click that on real quick. So just being aware of who your audience is for this particular video that you're creating, or being mindful of it and what they should be getting out of it, is going to help give you a lot of direction so you can have intention with your video. Number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. So yes, we're going to talk about different ways you can create videos on your own by yourself in just 30 minutes using your phone. But as you continue to grow, as you continue to find success in your business, don't be afraid to reach out and get help. That might be an actual physical help, like if you were to hire a TC or a assistant. So maybe you want to hire like a videographer, or go to Fiverr and hire a video editor where you can just send them your cell phone footage. But also in the early days, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's still a form of help. You might find a Facebook group, maybe it's a real estate Facebook group, just like the one you're in on here. And in that group, go and ask questions about, how people do videos. Go find videos that you really like of other agents across the country, and don't be afraid to comment on their stuff and ask, details about how they do certain things. Don't be afraid to request help. Putting together a video, it can be a lot of work. You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't feel intimidated or have questions, or just trying to get more out of this idea of going on video, going in front of the screen. And so this is really a great first step for you, that you are watching this video right now, because you're recognizing like, hey, I don't know everything that I need to know about it. And maybe I need to watch this because, I could find something that could help me. So having that awareness that you need help is just a great step. So take that further. Look at videos that you like, ask for help on how they do things. Ask for help, as far as editing. If you really just want to outsource things, you can edit, you can hire editors on Fiverr, or, different Facebook groups. You can hire local videographers, things like that. There's a lot you can do. Don't be afraid to request help where you need it. And then number 5, shoot and market your video. When your plan's all set, you've decided your audience, you've set up your KPIs, everything like that. Make sure you set time aside to create your video. It's not something that you want to just shoot from the hip. Now you can, and you might find that as you do it more, you'll be able to do that. But make sure that you actually like set your plan aside and set that time aside to create that video. Shooting the video probably won't take that long. As long as you're doing the prep work, as long as you're doing the work ahead of time to be aware of what you want to say, what you want to talk about, that kind of thing, and you're not just rambling. You can always tell when there's been more prep work ahead of time, when somebody seems like they have a very clear, concise message. And having that clear, concise message is going to help you secure more deals, secure more opportunities, because you're going to look confident and you're going to feel confident. Like when you feel confident, like when you succeed at something because you have actually acted out your plan and you have success in it, that confidence is going to feed your brain, and it's going to tell you like, hey, that wasn't so bad. We could do that again. So make sure that you set aside the time to actually create the video that you work so hard on. Make sure you have that time to edit and optimize it. Again, this can be done in less than 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You can do a 3-minute video and spend the rest of the time editing and optimizing it, and then uploading it to your different social media platforms. Don't be afraid to couple of things. One, don't be afraid, if you're comfortable, to post the same video to all your platforms. If you don't have the capacity or the ability to make different videos for all the different platforms, remember, done is better than perfect. And so don't be afraid to post them to all the different platforms. But that said, be mindful. So for example, if you're going to post your video to Facebook and to YouTube, you're more likely to be able to get the horizontal to work on Facebook and the vertical to work on Facebook. But on YouTube, it might just be better off to just do the horizontal, where your phone is, just like that. And that's not my phone, obviously. I'm actually filming on my phone. So, um, with YouTube as well, something else that I would recommend is if you're going to put it on YouTube, go to Canva, create yourself a little thumbnail, because otherwise you're going to be looking through those options they give you when you upload your video of all the facial expressions that you do not want to see. And so just create yourself a thumbnail with your headshot and a little banner about what your topic is. It's going to stand out a lot better. It's going to perform a lot better as well. And for those of you that aren't, that we're catching up, a thumbnail is basically just the little picture of your video that people see whenever they're scrolling through. So creating a thumbnail will, and adding your headshot and everything is something that will help you on YouTube. Now, we've talked about the video, right? We've talked about kind of the setup, and to an extent, we've talked about the plan of it. But I want to click over real quick, make sure there's no comments that I need to check in on. Looks like we have had a few here. So let me go. All right. And then let me click over to Facebook. Oh, goodness. Okay. Got a few on here. Love it. Love it. All right. It is a process, right? Whenever you're streaming in multiple places to make sure that you're getting all of the comments covered. Okay. Pillars are essential. I think I saw that one. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So now, like with any effort, like I said, in your marketing, you need to have a plan. You need to take into account everything that we just talked about. And my number one piece of advice when creating your video content for your business is to have a framework or a script. You wouldn't build a house without blueprints. You wouldn't, just you wouldn't go into battle without a plan. This is no different. You need to have a framework or a script for what you're going to talk about and what you're going to say. So to get you started, I encourage you to just start out writing blueprints, bullet points. Y'all, I need some water apparently. So start out with your bullet points of what you want to talk about. And then from there, you can kind of elaborate. I encourage you to not get too scripty with it in the beginning, because then you're just going to find yourself just staring here and reading either your paper or your computer and reading it line for line for line. And it's not going to be engaging because you're not going to have any emotion in it. And people are going to clearly tell that you're reading. Now, I'm at a point right now where I have my bullet points and then I have some elaborative phrases. But even that can be tricky, because I do find myself sometimes, I will read a whole phrase and I'm like, I'm not looking at the camera. So what I encourage you to do is start off with your bullet points, really have a mental conversation with yourself about what needs to be said around that bullet point. So that way, when you get in front of the camera, like you've already talked about it, right? It's like a conversation you've already had. So you're not as uncomfortable. You don't feel like you're winging it as much. So the bullet points are there to help keep you on track. And then, like I said, as you get more skills, as you get stronger at this, you can kind of get into a routine of more elaborative phrases. You can get into a full script, and then someday maybe incorporate a teleprompter as well, where the words you can write the whole script and the words just come up in front of you. And that is a rabbit hole we won't get down today. But getting into a teleprompter is something that can be really helpful for you if you need really that guided script to make sure you say all the right things. That said, you're not going to say all the right things. Guys, how many times have I sat here today and fumbled over my words because my tongue tries to get ahead of my brain? And so it's never going to be perfect. And you have to be okay with that and have to come to accept that. Now, speaking of tools, we talked about the teleprompter and the puppy's waking up. So let's just pray that she stays on her bed and doesn't try to climb up on me again like she did last week. But here are my top tools for creating fast, easy videos for your business. So number one is your phone. Like I said, I'm filming on my phone today. I have found it to be the most reliable piece of electronic that I own when it comes to filming. One, I always have it with me. I always have that. And I always have the cord that I need. Tim said, let's see the puppy. I'll pull her here in the end. I always have my phone. I always have a phone cord, and it just plugs right into my computer. I use an app called, okay. I think she's getting up and leaving us. We'll pull her in at the end. It's okay. So I always have my phone, I always have the cord. So no matter where I want to film, I know I can. So that's why my phone, for me, the cameras are phenomenal on modern day cell phones. And so that's why my phone for me is my number one tool when it comes to filming videos for my business, and it should be for yours as well, especially if you're just getting started. Number two is a tripod or a selfie stick, because Vesta said, what was the name of the app? Camo, a CAMO. That is the app that I use. I have downloaded it on my computer and I have downloaded it on my phone. That allows me to basically plug my phone into my computer, so that way I can stream live like you're doing here. Now, you don't necessarily have to have that if you're doing pre-recorded videos. You can just record on your phone and then upload your video to either Google Drive or upload it straight to the social media platforms from your phone. You don't have to use Camo if you're not going live. I just find that if I'm going live like I am now, having it connected is a lot easier and helps, just make everything look a little bit nicer. So, but the second thing I would recommend is having a tripod or a selfie stick. Here we go. Come here. Oh, no. She may get in my lap here in a second. So is having a selfie stick or a tripod, because you don't want to be sitting here holding your phone. Not to say that you can't. It is, fine, but you're going to want to have times where you want your phone away from you, so that way you can use your hands. I like to talk with my hands. And so I like to have my phone on something, or to have just a little bit of different distance between myself and my phone. Additionally, if you are showing a house or anything, or if you're standing in front of a house, it can help to have that phone a little bit further out so you can get the house in the background. Does that make sense? Thirdly, number three, I would say either AirPods or some sort of microphone situation if you're going to be filming outside. If you're filming inside, your phone should be able to pick up your audio just fine. I don't have any kind of separate mic or anything like that I'm using right now. I do own mics. I am a former photographer as well, so I have more equipment than, necessary. But I do. And so I do have all that equipment, and I utilize it when I'm going to be filming outside. But if I'm just filming inside here at my desk, just trying to do a video like we're doing today, then I'm just using my phone, nothing special. But having at a minimum like AirPods that you can stick in and use the microphone on your AirPods while you're filming is going to help cut down your wind noise, help cut down your background noise, things like that. And a couple of questions. Do you use a lighting tool when using your phone? And what was the app you used? Okay, app was Camo, C-A-M-O. Lighting tool, so sometimes it depends. Right now, I do have a ring light, and that's actually the fourth thing we were going to get into. I do have a ring light that I have just off to the side of my desk, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. That's the ring light. It's tiny. It can actually clip to the top of your computer if you want. There's a lot of different ring lights you guys can get. You can get them so that your phone, the ring light holds your phone and have it surrounding it, that kind of thing. This is the ring light I have on hand today, which is why it's the one I'm using. But this one clips to the top of your computer, or it can just sit on the desk right here and just give you a little bit of extra fill light. But I just check my lighting, right? Like whenever I'm starting to film, if I feel like I need extra lighting, then I'll bring it out. If I feel like I don't, then I won't. Sometimes, usually if I'm outside, I don't need extra lighting. Thank you so much. You said your lighting looks great. I got it from Amazon. It was like $16, y'all. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be expensive. But if you're filming outside, then, here's my suggestion. If you can get outside into natural light, but somewhere quiet so you don't have a whole lot of extra background noise, I would recommend it because it's going to give you your best natural light. And it's going to be the easiest to manage. Number 5, when it comes to editing, this is really number 5 and 6. Sometimes I will edit my videos, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I will just upload them straight. A lot of times I'm doing them live like this, so it is what it is, and we just run with it, right? But if I do have to edit a video, I will either do it using iMovie on my phone. Like if I'm filming with my phone, I will use the app iMovie that comes with Apple products. Tim asked if you use Apple products. I do. I've been a MacBook user since 2008. I've been an iPhone user since probably around the same time frame. Big fan of Apple products. They just seem to work with my brain, but you have to use what works best with you. Both sides of the coin have great products out there. But I use iMovie on my iPhone to help edit videos if I really want to like trim stuff and overlay music and things like that. But if you want to get super simple, you can also just use Canva. You can upload your video into Canva if you have Canva Pro, and you can trim down the video, slice it, that kind of thing. It's a whole process that you can do, but you don't have to have super expensive software to do these things. If you have an iPhone, iMovie, you can get right on your iPhone, and Canva is a pretty inexpensive software as well. I think you pay like $16 a month if you want Pro. Well worth it in my eyes. Those are the biggest things I use when it comes to creating videos. My thumbnails I create for YouTube, I use in Canva. I create those in Canva. You guys saw my lighting. I use my cell phone. I connect it to my computer here, and we're off to the races. I have it on a tripod. I don't use a whole lot. And basically what I do is I sit down, I write down what it is that what I want my message to be, who I want it to reach, and I write out my bullet points. It takes me probably, depending on my topic, it takes me probably 15 to 20 minutes to write out my messaging, my script, or my bullet points, things like that. A lot of times I've already had the idea simmering, or I've already had the idea written in my idea book. I actually have a notebook. It's a fairly large notebook that I use when I come across emails or questions that people have, and I'll just write them down here. It's my idea generator book, basically. And so I already have that kind of percolating, right? So when I sit down to write out my messaging and my video script, it doesn't take that much time because I've already had it written down. I've already thought about it before. So that'll probably take me 15, 20 minutes. It takes me, the video length is going to depend on what you're trying to talk about. Maybe your video is a 45-minute video. Maybe the whole thing is going to be a little bit longer because of what you're talking about. Sometimes these videos on here are 20 minutes. Sometimes these videos we do are 45 to 60 minutes, right? So it just depends on what you're talking about again. But I'll film my video, and then that was a whole Southern twang that just came out. I'll film my video, and then I'll, typically just let it run on social media live in its natural environment. Or if I'm really trying to use it in a lot of different places, if it was a really great video, if it was something that I want to multi-purpose a lot, then I'll upload it into Canva, I'll cut it up, and I'll divide it out into what I need it. That can take me, if I'm doing that, we're getting into a whole different level of multi-purpose use. Sometimes that can take me 30 minutes to an hour to cut it up and put into different formats. But again, if you're just talking about creating a video to just upload in its entirety to your different social media platforms, it's something that can be done really simply, really easily. For your first few videos, I wouldn't recommend doing anything over 3 to 5 minutes at the most. You don't want something so long that's going to lose people. And when you're creating a video, you want to make sure in the very beginning you have a hook, that you have something that's going to capture their attention. So, a lot of times when I go live on here, a lot of the beginning of the live is like, hey, hope everyone's doing great. Let's wander in here while I pull up the comments, right? But if you're doing a pre-recorded video, I want you to start immediately with the thing. I want you to start with if I were to look back at my script here, and we're talking about video. So I talked about being on the fence. And so if I was doing this as a pre-recorded video, I would have started, my very first words are you on the fence about doing video, but you feel intimidated and overwhelmed with the process? Maybe you've done a few videos of yourself, but you just haven't been able to commit. Luna, no ma'am, stop. She's in the puppy chewing up phase. So, I would have gone right into it, right? No waiting around to see if people are, watching, because if it's pre-recorded, nobody's watching it yet. So jump right into it, say something interesting to get their attention, and then then you can dive into the details, right? So I'm getting back down here to my notes. You don't have to make it overly complicated. Put together a few ideas, start filming. Your best video is a done video. So don't let your first video take 3 years to make. Let it happen right away. Put it out there, because once you do, you're going to start to feel those effects of accomplishment, feel productive, things like that. And you'll be able to jump right in and do your next one and feel so much more confident and comfortable about it. Some people say, do I need to do video? Do I really need to be on video? Is it as effective in 2022? Obviously, a lot of people were jumping on the bandwagon a few years back, and it was brand new, not brand new, but it was a big, brand new, shiny object, right? And so I get a lot of people who ask, is it still effective in 2022? And my answer is yes, absolutely, 100%, 1,000% yes. And I've got a few more stats for you guys. As many as 9 out of 10 professionals that use video marketing for their business say they generate a positive ROI. Now, let's think about this, guys. Roughly 87% of adults use the internet. I'm going to pause real quick. Apologize. That's her bells that she's got to go out. Sorry about that. So, like I said, roughly 87% of adults are on the internet. Like, how that's not 100%, I don't know. But, 87% are on the internet. And 82% of those 87% report to use, videos in their everyday lives. They report to watching videos in their everyday lives. And if you think about it, we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram Reels, we've got Facebook videos, we've got YouTube. Of course, people are consuming video all the time, right? Oh, caught my breath there. And so at this point, with that much consumption, if you're not using video in your marketing, like, frankly, you're falling behind at this point. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to be in the up and up. I want you to be, getting the most ROI you can get out of your efforts in your marketing. If you're using video, guys, you're going to get clients by capitalizing on this trend. And it's not a trend. It is a thing. It is here to stay. It is happening. So I encourage you to get on the video train. Now, before I roll into our exciting news, I want to see, do you guys have any more questions? And I will try to bring the puppy in here in a minute. We'll see what she's doing. Tim, you said Realtor Friends check out nvideo.io. I will have to check that out, Tim. I've not heard of that one. I'm going to copy it and paste it over here into my notes. Would love to see what that's all about. Thanks for the comments about the lighting. Nails and shirt colors match. Yeah. So nails were my 4-year-old's idea for Mother's Day. All right. So I know that I promised you guys some really exciting news at the end, and I don't want to leave you hanging on that anymore because I am beyond pumped about this. So we're going to be hosting our first ever real estate boot camp. It's going to be 2 to 3 days. We're still ironing out if that third day is 100% necessary, because I want to make sure that we're taking advantage of, the time that we have with you and capitalizing on it to the most ability. I don't want to waste your time. So it's going to be a 2 to 3 day boot camp. I'm going to take all the knowledge of everything I've learned over the past 17 years that I've been in the real estate industry, and I'll get to your questions in a second, Tim. I've realized I'm easily distracted by the comments when I have them up. But basically, I'm going to take all the knowledge of everything that I've learned over the past 17 years in the real estate industry to help you kick your business into high gear. And you're going to walk away with, at a minimum, your own 90-day action plan for your marketing. That's at a minimum. There's going to be so much more that I'm going to be unrolling about the benefits you're going to get from this boot camp and everything that you're going to walk away from. So you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled. And if you've been looking for the it thing to help you really like take your business to the next level, whether you're brand new and just getting started, whether you're, a veteran and you're looking to level up, whether you are a producer, a top producer, and you're looking to, just really maybe go to a team or something along those lines, this is going to help you no matter what stage you're at. So I'm going to start rolling out the details later today about the boot camp. And if you want me to send them to you, if you want me to message them to you, then go ahead and comment boot camp in the chat, and I will send you a message with those as soon as they're available. I'm going to grab the puppy because she's whining, and that way you guys can meet her. But we are going to be limited in our registration. Before I do that, we're going to be limited in our registration because we're going to do this on Zoom, and she's not going to let me wait. All right. So, like I was saying, here's Luna. We'll give a quick little distraction, but we're going to be limited in our registration because we're going to be doing this on Zoom. It's going to be, cameras available to be on, that kind of thing, super community driven. And so because of that, we're going to be limited to just 100 people because that's all I'm holding on Zoom right now. I want to make sure that we're able to help everybody that we can. So if you want more details on the boot camp, you're not committing to joining it or anything like that. If you just want more details on the boot camp, then comment boot camp in the chat and I'll send you a message as soon as they open up this afternoon. And so full disclosure, there will be a $47 refundable deposit to register for this boot camp. And your $47 just ensures that we hold your registration. We don't want people just mindlessly registering to just to hold the spot. We're really looking for people who are committed to growing their business. We're committed to taking that next step in their business. And so it will be a refundable deposit that you'll be able to get back at the end of the boot camp, as long as you have registered ahead of time. So just wanted to be full disclosure on that. But if you want to know more details, comment boot camp, let me know. And I can't wait to see you guys all here in the group, hopefully in the boot camp. And if you guys have questions, I'm going to check the chat one more time before I roll out, so that way I can make sure I have everybody's questions answered. Tim, she's a Great Dane. So there we go. There we go. Say hi, Luna. She's a Great Dane. She's 9 weeks. And Brittany said, how do you come up with content and decide where to start doing videos? I'm trying to do some with market updates and I have tons of ideas, but action is not happening by me overthinking what to do and doing it right and nice looking. Let me open up, see more. I'm not afraid of video, but I need a blueprint first, like you said. So, making sure that you're writing out all of your ideas is going to be really important. And then I would think about we have in our transformation program, we have a sheet that we use for social media, and it's got 3 pillars. It's got your fears, your pains, and your goals. And what you want to do is write down the fears, the pains, and the goals of your ideal audience. And then from there, see how your ideas match up to those fears, pains, and goals. Does that make sense? And if they don't match up, then maybe it's not something that's truly relevant to your audience. But if they do, then you can start to categorize like, okay, well, that's a fear. This is a pain that they have. This is a goal they have. And you can start to create content from there. That's usually where we start with like idea generating for our content and for our clients' content. And then we also, like I said, I have a book that I keep. So anytime I get an email or I talk to a client or I talk to a prospect or anything like that, and something pops into my head of like, oh, that would be really good content because I feel like that would be helpful for people, then I can write it down in the book. And so when I sit down, I usually sit down once every couple of weeks to plan out my content. And so when I sit down to do that, I look back through my book. I look back through our spreadsheet of fears, goals, fears, pains, and goals. And that's how I start creating the blueprint for my content. And like I said, a done video is your best video. So, even if you're worried, like, is it the right content? Is it perfect? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. So pick a topic, make a video. That's what I challenge you to do, Brittany, is pick a topic, make a video, post it out there, and just be done with it and watch and see what it does. You can't get feedback on what you're putting out there unless you put it out there. Awesome. So, Tim, I will send you details this afternoon on the bootcamp registration. I'll put that link. I'll send that link privately to you. And on the registration is where you'll get, where you'll do the $47 to be refunded at the end of the bootcamp. So anywho, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to roll out because I think she is getting antsy. She's like having a newborn in the house again. So I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to drop them in the group, drop them in the chat. You can also email me at Kristen Brumbaugh. So Kristen at blackhoundcreative.com. Kristen at blackhoundcreative.com. But honestly, the best way to get a hold of me is just send me a message here on Facebook or on whatever platform you're watching on. I check all my messages, here to help, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.